What's good, you guys, and welcome again on another episode. I came across this very short video, but I love the stitch to this video so much, and that is the reason why I'm sharing with you guys. Even though the original video made me open my mouth to a point where I was trying to figure out exactly what this man meant by what he said. So in this video, he was touching on some long-term relationships that they don't have sex or sexless relationship. People always assume that it is the woman's fault that is happening, that in some cases it's not the woman's fault, and the reason why men can lose their sexual attraction to their woman is because of something that I would like you guys to hear for yourself. Because when he started this video, I literally thought it to make a very good point, but I was so disappointed at what this man had to say about this whole thing. So without wasting much time, let's just get right into it.
We hear stories about like sexless marriages or long-term relationships, and we assume that it's always the woman's fault. That is often the case, but it's definitely not always the case. Sometimes guys can lose their sexual attraction to their wives, not because they get old or they gain a bunch of weight or they stop putting effort into their appearance, but because they love them.
What do you mean by that?
They call this the Madonna whore complex in psychology. It's like, it's actually hard to take somebody that you love, not just the body, like the person inside the body that you love and cherish and care for, and bend her over and f her hard. It's really hard to do that. It's really hard to do that to the mother of your children and your sacred wife. Do you understand? It can be. and so what I'm saying is that like they kind of have to have this switch in their mind where sometimes they have to be able to just objectify a woman in order to bend her over and give it to her real good.
I need us to think. I need us to think so bad. So badly, we need to start thinking. First, we have to stop believing that the thing he just described is some biological or inherent thing within men and start seeing it as a cultural thing we've been taught to believe based on our genders. And because we keep acting out on it and no one's calling it out and no one's challenging it, it becomes a cycle that feels like nature. Ultimately, in order for this to make sense, you'd have to admit a few things. First, you'd have to admit that you don't believe sex is a pleasurable or intimate act you share with a person. You'd have to see it as this guilty or shameful or harmful act done between two people. Secondly, you'd have to see it as a thing you do to a person, not something you do with a person, all right? And lastly, you'd have to admit that men have sex with objects, not people, right? Because that's what he said. The man has to have a switch in his mind where he has to objectify his wife in order to give it to her real good. But let's break this down even further using his own words, all right? So this is the mother of your kids as well as your wife, okay? So this is a person you met, dated, proposed to, married, had kids with, and then you reach the point of not being attracted to them anymore because you saw the humanity in them and you can no longer have sex with them, okay? Which means throughout 1 through 5 of meeting them, dating them, marrying them, having kids with them, and all these different things, you saw her as an object to do all these things with, and then you got to the point of like, wow, you're a human. You have thoughts, you have feelings, you have opinions. Huh, who would have thought? You waited until you did all of that and then got to the point of saying, wow, I can't do this to you anymore because you're a real person. I didn't know, my fault. I should never got married with you, had kids with you, and all these different things because I see you human now. I'm sorry, my bad. What are we saying? What are we saying?
The people in the comment section were just talking about how they have no words, because this is almost like when he started talking, I thought he was going to say something like very, make you sit and think. It was like he was saying like he was coming to a point where he's just going to drop the real deal, why that is happening. Or for him to say all of those things, and the people there were just literally laughing, because how on earth did that even make sense? Like, how are we supposed to say that even if everything is evolving, you just have to see a woman as an object? In order for you to be able to meet with her, you have to see her as an object. This further explains that he is telling us that men are not going to take accountability. What if the woman is not attracted? Why does it have to be the woman's fault at all times? Why does the woman have to take the blame for every single thing? Why is she the problem? Why does she have to be seen as an object in order to be able to meet with her husband. I saw a comment and I so much agree with this comment. This person said, under patriarchy, a lot of men are not capable of love. They prioritize their own pleasure over seeing a woman as a fellow human. And maybe this is what he's talking about, that they have to see them as an object in order for them to be able to meet with them. Every single spot he was eating after, he said, they do that because they don't love them. Every single spot it was eating was just getting worse and worse and worse. Like, what are you talking about? Let me know what you guys think. And I love the response of the man that stitched that video. He literally explained how senseless that point is. How that can never make sense from any angle. Let me hear your thoughts and let's continue this conversation in the comment section, and I will catch you guys in the next one.